But to get away from memory lane and back to our cigars here.
The, you know, those cigars, when you get down toward the bottom there, they get pretty soft. You know, these are still firm.
Firm and cool. Now, the nubs come in 12 sizes. There are 3 sizes that are the same through all 3 blends. But each size has its own signature size. The Cameroon has a box-pressed torpedo. John, could you hand me that? This is the only box-pressed nub, and it's also one of the few that have a torpedo foot, or a torpedo head. Some of the other cigars, the Connecticut and the Cameroon, or the Connecticut and the Corojo, both have a signature size, but this is the most unique because it's box pressed, and it's rather severely box pressed. And I don't know, squeeze that thing. That is a dense cigar, which when you start to realize just how long these cigars last for and how short they are, that's why. And how
more dense than the
right, and how they're able to roll them that dense and yet to have smoke come out the end is pretty amazing. So I'm starting to pick up a little bit of almost like a little bit of a malty flavor off the wrapper now.
This is probably the first. I think this is the first flavor comment I've actually given on this cigar, but I just noticed when we get down to the end how it gets a little bit heavier, it gets a little bit more full flavored, like a black licorice almost flavor to it. Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a lot of complexity to these. We've got one more beer left, and I'm going to drink this beer before the cigars go out. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to pour the last beer, which is the Ommegang Abbey Ale, and we're going to have some final thoughts. We're back. You're watching Indulge TV, and we're going to have our third beer, our third installment from the Ommegang Brewery in Cooperstown, New York. This is the Ommegang Abbey Ale, which I think is their signature ale. Here comes the pour.
Yeah. These beers are incredible. What I love about them is the tiny bubbles. Each one of these, even though one is...
Do tell, Don Ho.
Even though we go from light to sort of middle and dark, so this one being the darkest, it still has those tiny bubbles that sort of sizzle off the end of the tongue, each one of them, which is just brilliant.
There is like a zestiness.
It just zings.
Yeah.
Each glass, and that's why I love Belgian-style ales.
The third beer we're drinking is the Ommegang Abbey Ale, and this is called the Abbey Ale because this is the beer that the Trappist monks would brew back in the Middle Ages. So hundreds of years of monks toiling and painstakingly perfecting this brew has been passed down from generation to generation and now is being brewed by the Ommegang Brewery. So let's give it a shot. Fruity. Wow, that is really rich.
Yeah, it is.
There is a ton of fruit flavor there.
Yeah, it's the higher it produces the higher alcohol content. It's just got that. I don't want to say whiny, but it's almost like it's a bridge between beer and something stronger. It's got that really.
It's hard to explain. It's got flavors of like peach and plum and fig. There's a lot of, I guess, like aged fruit. You know, fruit that when it starts to turn, those are the flavors.
Has been fermented.
Yeah,
a little bit too long.
Like very overripe orange.
No,
but not. It's not. It's not chalky or bitter. I don't know what the hell they do. I don't know what sort of magical elves they use to create this, but it's a pretty unique experience. Mark, your Oliva NUB Connecticut or Cameroon. It looks like, has it gone out on you?
Yeah. I've been toying around with this ash and trying to keep it, and I let it go out by mistake. But should we try to stand it up?
Yeah, I think we should.
The NUB website has lots of cool pictures of people standing up their cigars, so let's give it a shot.
Let's see what happens.
Maybe we'll take a picture and send it in.
You want to just get one before
No, lean it up.
All right, here we go.
All right.
There it is. All right.
Not bad.
Good looking. I got the cracked wrapper in, which it's a little rustic.
It is rustic.
But hey,
That's some character to it.
Yeah, and every day some rain must fall.
What a smoke, though.
Final thoughts, Mark? Because I'm not ready for my final thoughts, but let's get yours out of the way.
It got more complex as it drew down. As you can see, the ash is phenomenal, and I give it an A.
We go on a point system 1 to 10 here, Mark.
1 to 10. Well,
include. You can't include the price because you didn't pay anything for this. But
the price
is a 10.
The price is a 10. I will put in. We should probably get just a close up of the split. So I'm going to take away a little bit for the split.
For the C-section.
Right. Actually, that would be wonderful if another little cigar popped out of this. Yeah, sure. But
look at that.
No, I'll give it an 8.
Fair enough.
I'll give it an 8.
John and I are still working.
This has been a fine cigar. You know, I like a little more flavor than, a little stronger than a Connecticut, I'm sure. But it's still dense, even being this short. It's still a dense cigar. It doesn't get too soft.
I think I only saw you put a torch to that a couple times.
Yeah, just a couple times. Yeah.
And I'm still puffing away. We're editing this down, so this half-hour video actually takes place over the course of a couple hours because nobody wants to sit for 2 hours and watch 3 jackasses blather on. I mean, the first show was long enough as it is. The first,
extreme.
For anybody that sat and watched the first episode, all 53 minutes of it, you should win an award. John is.
What do I get?
Hey, you got to come on the show. That's about it.
And thanks for having me on the show. It was great.
My pleasure.
It was a lot of fun.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah, it was.
It's nice to have an extra guy here, to keep this guy, keep this guy in line here.
If anybody wants to come on the show, the 518 area code, just contact me at the email address on the screen. And if you don't want to come on the show, at least comment. The first show, we told people to be scathing and write awful, brutal hate mail. Nobody wrote anything, which I thought the internet was full of lots of miserable, misanthropic people, but I guess it's just, at least the cigar smokers, wherever you go, cigar smokers are nice people. So I guess asking cigar smokers to be jerks it's asking a lot because generally they're a nice bunch of people, very mellow, relaxed.
Also, you got to think about the nature of the person who sits and writes nasty stuff about people and what their motivation. Usually they sit and write nasty things about celebrities and about people who are in the public eye.
So you're saying that I'm flattering myself to think that I'm deserving of hate mail? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You can actually have another cigar if you want.
Well,
just so you can feel cool.
We're reviewing one.
All right.
Let's just do
one.
one.
Light it up again.
I'm going to relight it and see if it still tastes good. I'm jealous. I'm the odd man out here now.
It is nice to try something new that I haven't had before.